In the culture of the dollar, if you grew up in it, you understand success and value is ties up to the money. How much wealth you have, how much you accumulate. This is an indication of how successful in this life you are, regardless what you feel on the inside. Happy, miserable, destroyed, can't lose sleep. You sleep overnight over this project or that project or this money or this dollar or the stock market went up or the stock market went down. In this culture, I'm going to give some examples of how you can be very successful. In this culture of dollar, as we see it at the individual level, you are out for the kill. You're going to make the dollar no matter what. I can't give individual experiences in this culture. I'm going to give you on a much larger scale. I'm going to give you an example of the countries that have adopted that experience and that have infested its population with this culture. When Europe became recently in this endless time of history, Europe had the upper technical hand around the globe, and they were driven by the culture of dollar. One good thing about the culture of dollar, it produces faster than the culture of life. It improves technology faster. It can conquer other countries faster. So they say, we'll stop at nothing, including murder, genocide, killing people, acquiring land and wealth that doesn't belong to us, as long as we can do it safely and without accountability, we will do. So we go into the island of Australia and we find out there is a lot of people that are technically behind us because they've been in isolations for all these years. Just like if we were in isolation, we will be behind too, because technology improves by communicating with other technologies and other people. So we walk in, we see a lot of people living in Australia. They don't look like us, so we think, well, a lot of wealth, a lot of land, a lot of people. Let's go kill them, take over the land. So they come in to Australia, they kill the local people, and they actually, for no reason, because the local people were not even armed. They'll go into the forest. They will go on to hunting. Some people hunt, like in America, some people hunt deer, some people hunt ducks or whatever it is. Over there, they were hunting indigenous population until they almost annihilated the population. And now they have entered the country in mass numbers and they claim the island as their own. And they are to say who comes into it and who does not. Really? That's the culture of the dollar because there's a lot of money. Most recently, we have went into Iraq. Do you think we went into Iraq and we took over Saddam Hussein because we love the people of Iraq? No. We went into Iraq because Iraq is wealthy. It's in the middle of a lot of wealthy nations. If we go in, conquer the country, we can make a lot of money. And we did. Before that, we came to the United States of America. The European settlers came to America. They killed the people. They went to Africa. They enslaved the people. This is the culture of the dollar. And year after year, generation after generation, it becomes part of your DNA. You have no remorse, no feeling, no empathy, no care for other people's lives, as long as it is not your life. So it's easy to kill. Why do I bring this subject now? Because the entire world, rich and poor, educated, uneducated, everyone is watching with their own eyes the genocide is happening in Gaza. You are seeing that there is people in high-rise residential buildings, and the U.S. supplied ammunition to the Israelis to shoot these buildings and bring them with one shot bring 12, 20-story building to the floor with all of its people. As long as they can kill these people, they can take that land. Not only for the dollar, but it's also for its strategic location. As that was happening and all the buildings were down and all the Palestinians have been surrounded and the children are gone hungry, homeless, 100,000 people perished between what we know is dead as 35,000 and what is missing under the buildings and another 100,000 people wounded. They will probably die because they bombed the hospitals, the school, the water. There's no water, school, food, medicine, or anything. And Gaza is surrounded. In that time, I open my YouTube and I see an opportunity for money. I hear Mr. Kushner, the son-in-law of the former president, bragging. How beautiful are the Gaza beaches and how big are the resources he is about to invest once he wipe out the Palestinians and then deports or throw out whoever continue to be alive. Culture of the dollar. That's how it works. Kill the people, take their possessions, have no interest in their human life. No empathy for a woman holding parts of her child, a leg, an arm, a head. A child looking around, looking for his sister in the rubbles or on parts. He finds a hand and he fights over another child. He said, "Oh, that's the hand of my sister. It belongs to my bag." And the other guy, "No, that's my hand of my sister." And then the guy say, "No, there's a mark on her back of her palm." And that's how I recognize her until they decide which body part belonged to which bag. And these are children, 10, 12, 13. Some of them are 8. Are you happy? I'm not. Just to give you a brief history, when this genocide against the Palestinian people started. We only see it now because now we have internet, the media being controlled by the culture of the dollar. We cannot open CNN and the media. It is censored. All the Western media speak the same language, tell the lies they wish to lie. However, in today's technology, we have the internet and people were tweeting and people were taking videos with their phones and sending it over to other people. That's the reason we know what is happening to Gaza. In 1948, though, it happened on a much larger scale. That's why Gaza is crowded with 2.5 million people in a small strip of land 4 miles wide and 30 miles long. That's like a small town in America. In 1948, the new settlers coming from Europe into Palestine, pretty much like the settlers that came from Europe into America or into Africa. It's just in Palestine was a lot worse. They came into Palestine, they were well organized, well armed and well trained, and they entered 2,000 villages, including my village, unarmed villages. We didn't have revolutions, we didn't have guns, we didn't fire a shot. They entered the villages and erased them from the map of the earth. And whoever fled, like my family, they fled to Lebanon, and some other family fled into the mountains and into the valleys and returned later to some other areas, not their own town. 2,000 villages erased. Believe it or not, that is the Israeli. October 7 started in 1948, and it did not stop there. Because we say, you know what? What happened, happened. We're going to just start a new life. They're not going to let you start a new life. They want whatever is left of you. So they occupied all of Palestine. They changed the name. They called it Israel. Now, the Palestinian people that live in the West Bank and live in Gaza Strip, are actually people, or most of them are people that used to live in historic Palestine, the land that is known today as Israel. They became refugees in Gaza and in the West Bank. If you add the local people of these two areas, now you have a heavily dense population. Did anybody in the world say anything about that? No. They say, well, we did not know. Russia, the United States of America, England, and France, they signed on the creation of State of Israel, and it did not end there. They continue to raid Palestinian homes within the West Bank and Gaza, and some Lebanese homes in northern Lebanon, long before the Lebanese had a revolution, and they will put them in concentration camps. These are hostages, civilian hostages. There's tens of thousands of Palestinian hostages in the prisons of Israel. Half of them are women or children, and nobody talks about them, but the 100 hostages that were taken by the Palestinians, everybody speaks about. So as they did this, they saw Gaza over so many years. They took over Gaza, and then they withdrew from Gaza. Then they surrounded Gaza. Now they control what goes in, what goes out. They give you just enough food to survive, just enough water to barely hydrate. They have absolutely surrounded the city for over 50 years, and just before October 7, they started torturing the hostages, the Palestinian hostages. They call them prisoners. They started to put them in isolations. They actually started chopping the limbs of people, killing them with disease, abusing them, many tortured. We do not know why. It's just a psychopath mentality. It's just a psychopath mentality beyond being just for the money. It's hard to say what drives people like this to do the things that they do. So the Palestinians of Gaza prepared themselves for what is worse. And there is nothing worse than what they are in. It's better to die than live in that environment. So they start building, instead of killing themselves in a mass suicide like many people do in a situation like this, they decided to fight and say, if we die, we die, because the way we live is not worth living. And when they heard of the torturing with the new right-wing government as a matter of policy, they amputate legs. So they say, well, this guy without legs, he cannot run on the streets, so that's cool. Or this guy without hands, or you can. I mean, they have done that, and it's been on, actually, it has been on CNN as well. I've seen it on CNN, not just from the video shots of the people taken on the streets of Gaza. I don't want to take it too long on Gaza, but that's the idea of where, at the end of the road, the culture of the dollar is going to take you. It will take you to be a soul that is not repairable. You're going to be a psychopath. At the end of the day, you're going to be a psychopath. Generation after generation after generation, we're going to end up being all living in this culture a group of psychopaths. Why? Because I do talk to my American friends here. A lot of them, I love them and they love me. If I get hurt, they're going to cry, they're going to help me, they're going to take care of my hand. I play golf with them. They are my friends at my job. But at the end of the day, when you say about Gaza, they say, you know what? This is war. Superpowers do that. They kill people to make money. That's normal. They accept that. Or better yet, they say, oh, God told the Israelis to go to the land of the Palestine. And they quote the Bible. I think it's Samuel chapter 1:15-3. It says, you go to Gaza, you kill every man, woman, child, and infant, slaughter their donkeys, their sheep, donkeys, camels, cows, demolish their home, leave no trace of their existence. It's in the Bible, actually. I thought he was lying until I opened the Bible and I saw it's actually written there. So now we are at a tipping point. Lucky for these people, one day, this entire world will be thankful for the sacrifices that the Gaza people are making to change that culture of the dollar into the culture of humanity, or what we call the culture of life. So I'm going to stop here about the culture of the dollar. Then I'm going to tell you a little bit about the culture of life. I'm not suggesting the other people on the other side of the border are angels, because they're not. They are a mix between the culture of life and the culture of the dollar. I'm going to give you an example that you all know. The example that you all know is China. How did China conquer poverty? And how is China improving the lives of people in other countries? Do you think because they just have this culture of life, they want to help everyone and they want to be good, and they are offering everybody everything for free? The answer is 100% no. I'm going to give you one example and you build on it to see where we're going with the culture of life, which is mixing now with the culture of the dollar in the East. In the culture of life, or in the culture, I would say the mixed culture of life and dollar in China. The Chinese government came in and said, we're going to conquer poverty. And everybody laughed. Where are you going to get the money when you have 800 million people living in mud houses with no shoes, working, don't have schools for their children? Half of them are illiterate because they are absolutely dirty poor. It takes hundreds of trillions of dollars. I'm not going to tell you who in the leadership of the Chinese party or government, whatever you want to call it, said, actually, you guys are crazy. When you help your people, you make money. Now, the people that are into the culture of money and the culture of the dollar open their eyes. How the hell am I going to make money? Helping people that are poor get better. So they created the program. They came to a fisherman. And then they came to a farmer. And they went to the fisherman and he said, why you don't have shoes, why you live in a mud shack, and why your children are out here on the beach helping you collecting fish. And he said, because at best I can do about 5 to 10 pounds a day. We eat a pound and we sell for a pound or trade it for other goods so we can fill up a tummy. And he is skin and bone. I don't think he's filling his tummy every day. And he is in the sun dawn to dusk, working hard. He is not lazy, but he doesn't know what to do to make his life better with the same amount of work. So the government comes back, and he say, okay, I got you a boat. This boat is $1 million. They tell this fisherman, you owe me $1 million. There is no charity here, brother. Okay, we give him a boat. Then we train him how to use the boat. Then we train him how to fish. And then we train him how to find the fish in the ocean and how far he can go. And we give him a map. And he say, now with this boat, you're going to get 5 tons of fish every day. But you have to pay me the $1 million because it's not charity. But you don't have to work dawn to dusk. You do 8 to 10 hours a day. And your children don't have to come help you because when you're making 5 tons of fish a day, you are making $1,000 of profit a day. So all what the government did, bring the boat, gave it to the fisherman, told him to work less, told him to pay back for the boat, pay back for the taxes. Now, after a month or two, he realized, oh my God, I'm working less, I'm making money. Now I have money to build a decent house or rent an apartment, buy a car for my kids, dress them well. Now they need schools in the village, they need roads in the village, they need this, and that. And what did the government pay? The government made money. So the people in the culture of the dollar within the government were cheering up, hey, let's conquer poverty, because all these people, the farmers, the people in the factories, blah, 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 so forth. And even when they make money too, when this fisherman catches the fish, he cannot sell 5 tons of fish a day. So the government collects a whole bunch of people and say, go to work, make some money, build your apartment, send your kids to school. We're gonna make canned food and sell it to the world. Now they also have a factory, people work in the factory. So the man of the culture of the dollar within the Chinese government, he said, hey, let's get more poor people rich because I am making it, baby. And that's how China succeeded in conquering poverty, not by dumping money on people. And they did not do it by actually going in debt. While they were doing it, they were making money because that's how it works. Put poor, active people to work, and you're gonna make money, and they're gonna make money, and the country will be rich enough to defend itself. And somebody shake his head, they say, dudes, what can we do now? Really? Let's do that with other people. Let's go to Congo and let the people of Congo do what they have to do to improve their lives. We're going to help the people of Congo do the same like we help the people of China. And now the people of Congo are going to go to work. We're going to put the infrastructure. We're going to build the factory. We're going to give them money. We don't give nobody any money, baby. We come from the culture of the dollar. They won't let us. Some of us are really good about the money. But they are happy to help them make money so they can pay us back. So they go into Congo. Now the people are working instead of climbing, the mountains looking for gold or uranium or whatever for the foreign companies, and they work for a loaf of bread a day. Now they have a life. So they conquered poverty in their country and made a ton of money. They conquered the poverty. Hopefully they will conquer the poverty in Africa, and they will make money too. Congratulations for them. This is the culture. When you mix the culture of the dollar with the culture of life, the culture of life says your goal in happiness is your goal in life, not making money. Some of us think this is extreme. The next generation is going to say this is the new culture that will be dominant in the future. Right now, the culture of the dollar is dominant, and it's losing its power to the culture of dollar and life together. And the next generation, you're going to be in the culture of life. If I had $100 million today, honestly, I cannot drive more than one car at a time. I cannot sleep more than one bed at a time. And I cannot eat more than what my tummy can take. Well, it looks like I do eat more than what my tummy take, because I have built a little bit of tummy here. So now, my friend, think of yourself, say, which culture do I want to belong to? And then live in harmony with that culture, and you are going to be okay. Let me just take a break and come back. Welcome back, my friends. Today, we don't want to spend all day long talking about these two cultures. We're going to go back to the earthly. What do you think happened on that earthly? The captain is determined to fly. He reached out under his seat. He unzipped a little package he's always kept, and nobody know what's in it. And he said, "We are continuing. We only have 2 hours to reach a destination. The co-pilot look around. Well, the pilot is the boss, so he's going to listen to him. He thinks and he say, you know what? I'm not going to take a chance on 500. In his head, he say, I'm not going to take a chance on killing 500 people, regardless of how confident this captain is. So he gets out, he goes to the bathroom. Then he called a hostess. And he whispered in her ears to talk to him outside the cabin. And she did. And he told her what is going on. Then he said, I need you to get on the speaker phone or microphone, whatever you call it, on the loudspeakers in the airplane and announce what is happening. And I got your back. So she said, no, you do it. So and I got your back. So the co-pilot picks up his microphone and he talks to the people. He tells the people what is going on. And then everybody go berserk and he say, we will storm. And the people said, we will storm the cabin. The captain now is alarmed. He's angry. He said, what the hell you're doing? You are going to crash this airplane. Between here and there now, the airplane has lost its fuel, almost lost its fuel because one of the engines started to kind of act like it's wanting to stop. So they drag the pilot out, the co-pilot gets in, and he starts landing the airplane on the surface of the desert. He takes it down about 100 yards up in the air with only 2 minutes to touch ground. He's been going on a very smooth, even though the engines are starting to rattle. The engines stop. Lucky for him, he had enough speed to glide into the desert, lands on the desert, go for a distance. The airplane is damaged. I mean, it landed on without wheels. I mean, he didn't even think to open the wheels, or he probably didn't want to. He wanted the belly to take the shock. And the people are safe. Now remember, if we went by the experience of this pilot and follow his recommendation of saving the plane, we would have lost 500 people. But because there was someone that was thinking about life, he came in and he took charge, even though he's not in charge. He took charge, he took the plane and he landed it where most of the people, we had like 11 injuries or so. Ladies and gentlemen, you are the people on this ship. In the United States of America, we have an administration now that comes from the old school. When people say Biden is old, we're not talking about his age. It's the old school. Much younger people than Biden. They're old too because they come from the old school. Look, it worked. We came to America. We conquered them. We terminated their people. Now, look, we have a great country here and we have money and we're living well. We went to Iraq. We succeeded. Whether we win or lose on the battleground, but we took all their money. We made a lot of wealth. We scared a lot of neighbors, and now we own them. And so on. Libya, Vietnam. Well, Vietnam was not a money-making machine, but most of the others were. And now, this captain in the White House want to fly us into what? On no fuel? The time has changed. Let's just stop and think. We have already reached our peak and we need to start looking for the next step we need to make. Don't continue to think that you dominate the world because you don't. Don't continue to think you are the most powerful and you can conquer any country and bring money home and keep us living well. No. Time to think, to move to the next level. And how I know that we have become psychopaths in this culture because we all watching live what happened to the Palestinian people in Gaza. And the people are dancing with joy over the death and the suffering of women, children, elderly, and young men. Ladies, a psychopath mentality will take us to destruction because their joy in life is to see other people suffer. Thank you. And on the next video, I am going to talk about why everyone in the world wants to come and live in America. You wait for this. I'm going to tell you how you can do it legally and safely. And I'm going to tell you why you want to do it. And then you decide for yourself whether it is the right thing to do. Thank you very much. My next video in 1 week, hopefully, or 2 weeks. I appreciate it. For those of you that joined me and does not want to be part of my message, please unfriend me. I want no other, period. I want no other than talking to people. If anybody have a suggestion of creating a group that will promote humanity around the planet, don't kill our planet and tell us live here. Let's save the planet now. If anyone have an idea, I would like to share and work with you because we all need the inputs of others. Thank you. Until next time, bye.